Welcome to another episode of Real Deal Investing. I'm Jerron Kelley, one of your hosts, welcoming Larry Mastropieri, my co-host. Welcome, Larry. Good morning. We got three great guests today. We have Dario Peretti along with his son, Pablo Peretti, and daughter, Cynthia Peretti. They are a family powerhouse team. Welcome, guys and gals.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerron.
Sure.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So the Perettis are a family team here. They own Green Life Real Estate and Property Management Company, and they also own Silver Group Construction. They have the Green Life brokerage where they broker properties, and they also do property management as well through Green Life. And then they branched out now in the last few years into construction. And that's going to be one of the main things we want to talk about today. We haven't had any contractors on our podcast here and folks who are doing new builds. So we're really excited to have you and really learn about what you're doing here today. So again, welcome. And we've got a pretty cool, or you all have a pretty cool PowerPoint presentation for us with some videos and some layouts of the different properties that you're building. So we're really excited to explore that.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for having us. The invitation was an honor. I met you more than 10 years ago, and I'm really happy. I'm glad, but more than that, I'm proud to present my family. You know, this is probably every father dream, and for me, came true. Not only commercial business and the relation with my child and the progress they have is amazing. So
yeah, I can tell you just, from getting to know other people, my clients who own successful businesses, to get one child in the business is always a dream and difficult, but to get two of them is amazing. So kudos.
And they are the only two I have. So 2 out of 2.
There you go. So good. So just a quick background too from my end. You're right, Dario. I had met you. I believe we actually met years ago when I gave a landlord-tenant presentation at the Realtors Association down in, I don't know if it was Miami or Broward where I did that, but
Broward.
Yep. But we've stayed in touch and we've worked together for a number of years now. And you've had a successful brokerage and property management company. And, you've been doing that for not only foreign investors who were bringing their money into the United States to buy properties and have you manage those properties for them. And you build up a nice business with that. But then, as I said before, you've now branched out into the construction side of the business, which I know a tiny bit about because we've had a conversation, but we haven't gone about that. But let's start off. Just give us the quick, minute or two history of what you've been doing on the real estate transactional side and the property management side before we dive into the construction world.
Sure. Excellent. Actually, I would like to say I came from Argentina. My father was Italian, so a little background, but the last name.
I can tell by the last name.
Yeah. We came.
Wow, I'm dominated. I've got 4 Italians here. Yeah.
My name's a little Italian.
Yes, we came with my Ada Rinaldo, the broker of Green Life, my wife, for more than 34 years. So we came 28 years ago. We began working in another industry, in electronics, import and export. That's what I was doing in Argentina at that time. But little by little, we shift. Electronic was no good business after 2010. And before that, we start dealing, our investors start asking about the situation in real estate with the bubble, with the crisis and the 2008. We kind of shift in some way, I don't know, magical, because a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? How do you do that? And how do you know that? Because one market was crashing, but starting at the same time, another age, another phase. And electronic went down because of the Chinese making any brand popular, the pricing, fighting pricing, direct dealing with the end public. So the middleman is no longer needed. So we start shifting 2008, 2009. with with the investor moving their capital, the funds, the money into real estate. And we started a little low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all of them actually asked me, okay, I'm going to invest my money, but I need somebody that's taking care of the property. I'm not there. So in 2011, we start Greenlight Project, the management side of Greenlight Realty. And little by little, we become more popular, very well known in South America, mostly in Argentina. And 2014, 15, 16 was the better year for us. We made a lot of clients, a lot of deals. I became a little famous over there, like a Messi in Rosario, Argentina, because a lot of realtor broker that went to Argentina only knows Buenos Aires as the big city in the world, but nobody else doing the interior of the country. So I started doing that. My natal city, Rosario, where Messi from, Di Maria, and other players. Of course, I am soccer fan on top of everything. But we began visiting different other cities within Argentina.
Okay.
And a lot of developers in Miami, bigger developers, start knowing that we have a connection with the people in their city. They trust us, so they start looking for us to promote their projects in Argentina. So sometimes in exclusivity, sometimes sharing with other developers. But we did that. Yeah, it was nice, beautiful, open forum for 100-person plus, a couple hours seminar. Everything went fine, but I didn't see the challenge. That was not easy for anyone, but I see that I want more. So in 2017, I decided to start building. But when I started that, of course, I didn't know anything about the building construction. The only thing that I have was the funds, the capital, and the knowledge what I want to do. So
before you get into the construction, okay. I just want to kind of reflect on what I'm hearing here and give you, positive feedback and kudos for what you accomplished, because it's no little thing. First of all, what you did is you jumped into a new industry, you created expertise in it, and then you found you got outside of, like you said, you got outside of the more solicited areas of Buenos Aires. You determined that there were B-tier markets where you could find clients that had, maybe they were businessmen and women or professionals that had extra capital, and you were targeting, of course, your home country, but it was also some fortune, I guess, for you and favor, like good timing, that Argentina has gone through several economic crises over the last 20 years, and the currency has really depreciated significantly. Your current president, I think he's gotten things more or less under control, but for a good 20 or 30 years, it's been a real problem there. So you created an opportunity really out of nothing, and you created trust with these clients that you were their kind of eyes and ears and their expertise here in Florida for their investments and how to get their money out of a country who's, if they kept their money in the bank, it might be losing 20, 30, 40, 50% a year. Am I right about that?
Sometimes they keep it in pesos, in national pesos.
Yeah.
The inflation last year was 250.
Wow. That's 250%. Unbelievable.
It's difficult to understand here.
Yeah.
When we
have a number of
mention inflation here, actually, as people, business people, regular people, worker people, about inflation before 2020, they don't know. They don't know history. They don't know nothing. I used to have that. So I was prepared for 2020.
Well, exactly. So that's my point, is that as Americans, most of us didn't live through, or we weren't really like grown adults in the 1970s. I remember stories of my parents talking to me when they were building properties here in South Florida in the 70s. They were building small multifamily properties, and they were investors too. But they talked about how the dollar was losing value and the inflation and how rates had gone up to 12 and 18%. So I've heard those stories, but I didn't live that, and none of us are old enough to really have lived through that. But here we were again, like you said, in 2020 through 2022 and three, where we were seeing maybe inflation of 7 to, again, Larry and I talk about this all the time. We think it's a lot more than what the government was publicizing, but even if it was 15 a year, it's nothing compared to the 100%, 250% that you all were dealing with. So the bottom line is you were well equipped to assist your investors in Argentina. So that's no small feat. So I don't want to paper over that, what you've created with your business before you even got into construction. So, but yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't know. You want me to go?
Yeah, let's cover the construction now. Yeah, I just want to kind of cover what I knew about you and how impressive it was that you did create, this management company and handled hundreds of transactions for them. So yeah. Actually, talking about the property management, I remember that I have an excellent feeling the time I met you on that presentation. I thought that I found a real legal advisor, a great people working with that we've been working for more than 10 years. Lucky for us, we have some way to manage to control that. We have no more than one eviction a year out of 100 properties that we manage. It's impressive.
So I believe it's unreal, to be honest. And we didn't have any eviction, not because it wasn't allowed by law, but we didn't have any rent due at the end of 2020.
Amazing.
So that was surprising.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I had the first eviction May or August 2021.
Yeah,
for non-payment. Everybody pay somehow, return the property. We split the security. We did everything legal possible to help people, but everybody keep paying. And we managed to reduce fees, help people to split the payment in different ways, not charging late fee, not charging nothing. If they have any problem, to try to help them. But at the same way, they help themselves and they help everybody. So my landlords went through without no problem all the way.
That's very impressive. Good job with that. Yeah, there's many management companies and portfolios that they have, or even investors in their portfolios that have a 2 to 5% delinquency rate. Depending on the location of the properties, depending on a number of factors, the demographic that they're working with, but that's still very impressive.
Remember that
eviction in 2020, which was the most difficult year for people, for sure.
Remember, actually, because we are investor prefer, or our niche is investor. We work with any people, regular people that have. I have investors. They don't care about the rent income, or they don't care about the expenses. They have plenty money to have an apartment empty for half of the year or more, or probably the whole year, just paying maintenance or whatever. But most our portfolio are people that want to get the most out of the investment. So we have a low demographic people and low value property to have the equation higher. Less money invest, more rent. Because you go with higher in luxury, you spend a lot of money, and they don't pay so much, but that amount of money because it's a market value. Somebody give it for less, they go for less.
Said a different way, your Class A properties, you're going to have a very low cap rate or return on investment generally, but your hope is that you're going to see more appreciation in those markets, whereas a Class C property, you're going to have the opposite, maybe a little lower appreciation, but you're going to have a better return on investment or cap rate, your net income, typically, as long as you're buying.
Yes, typically, but after 2020, we found out something different. All the property that we have, the low value, they went up tremendous. More than 50% in a year. Yeah, but a luxury, I have a couple condos, luxury condo of myself, also a few clients. It went up 10% if they're lucky to sell.
Condo, Larry and I did our last podcast. We had a nice discussion about condos in South Florida. Larry separately, those of you who are watching this should really check out Larry's personal channel, his professional channel from the Mastropieri group. He's got some really good videos on condos and what's going on in that condo market, and seeing some real pain in that market here in South Florida for a variety of reasons, including the special assessments that are being passed and all the engineering studies that are happening and the repairs they're having to make. So yeah, there's definitely pain in condos. I kind of put condos out as a kind of a separate,
agreed.
Yeah, separate beast.
Yeah. And you guys are building single family homes mostly.
Yes, that's where we focus. We don't stop doing everything else. We manage and we sell, we buy condos, townhouses, single family, condo hotel, Airbnbs, short rent, long term. We do everything. But if you came to me asking me, I want the lowest investment, the best of return, I'm gonna tell you, this is my home. This is what I build. This is the best deal. You're gonna see it later. I have the number.
Let's transition into that. I'm really
if you
excited
want
to get
start with the first play, I would like to use the first to introduce and let Cynthia talk a little bit and Pablo, of course.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to add this to the full screen. Here we go, guys.
Okay, thank you everybody for listening to us. It's an honor to be here, and I would like to show you my family. We're going to the next one. You can see me in the first photo with one of the first houses that we finished in the back. The second one in the presentation in the condo with my wife, Ada, and Cynthia, Pablo's mother. And the second, in the middle, you see Ada in another property that we just built, and Cynthia and Pablo. And I'm going to let them talk about their background. Cynthia?
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone. I'll keep it very brief. I would say soccer runs in the family a lot. And at least for me, it's been a huge vehicle to be able to get to where I am. As you see, I am in my uniform most of the time. I'm always playing soccer. But thanks to that, I've been able to study, get my degree in accounting, which is essentially my main focus. However, thanks to that, once I came out of there, working under my dad has been a huge blessing, actually. I think he's been my biggest mentor throughout my entire life. And it's funny because everyone has always told me, anyone that's met my dad, at least in the business realm, has always told me, you don't have anything to worry about. You have the best mentor right next to you. So it's been amazing being able to learn under him. We have had our challenges, I will say that. I think everybody knows that working with your family is great, but then sometimes
it's hard to separate the family from the business, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Larry knows that too. He works with his mother and sister.
Oh yeah. Here's how I've been very quiet about that.
Larry's putting himself on mute for a reason.
My mom's in the background right now in the other room, and I can hear her speaking loudly, and I'm just like, come on.
Really?
Told you had the presentation.
Yeah.
Once you grease those wheels and you figure out the dynamic, it honestly just gets better. But it's
agreed.
So
Agreed.
learning things here and there. And well, my dad has always pushed me, and once I came out of college, pushed me into, actually getting into my degree in accounting, because I feel like what a lot of younger people face nowadays is you have all the theory, but you don't have much of the practice. So, I was very fortunate that he pushed me into it, and then I loved it. And then from there, afterward, I ended up getting all the rest of my licenses. Obviously, I got the real estate one because my dad and my mom have had the brokerage for a very, very long time. So it made sense. And then from there was the rest of my challenges, which after that came the whole loan license, which was huge for our company because that allowed us to be able to process the loans a little bit easier, facilitated a bit more, especially with the banks. They're a little bit of a pain sometimes. But at least having everything in-house, it allowed everything to just go that much quicker to be able to close. And then my last license, which was the biggest, most difficult one, at least for me, was the contractor one. That was quite the nightmare. However, and I also decided to get my MBA in, I think it was business administration as well. So I have a well-rounded pool of knowledge, expertise. I also, yeah.
I can only imagine you need to work just to pay for your annual license renewals with all these licenses.
Oh yeah, it's great to have them. However, when
that's impressive. I'm making a joke, but it's very impressive what you've done. So yeah.
No, you don't make it a show. It's a reality, and people doesn't know. When they try to get the consultation, advice, or something, they don't know how much time it took for her to know that, and they don't know how much we pay every year to have a platform, to have a license renewal, to have a place to work. It's a lot of money, though. It costing every year more and more.
Sure. My fiance is a general contractor as well, and I watched her go through that many years ago. And I'm an engineer by schooling and previous career, and I would just say like that. General contractor license is not easy to get. Other places in the world and other states, it's very different. Florida is a very difficult place to have a general contracting license, and there's a lot of insurance required to hold that as well, besides just the renewal. So, yeah, props.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much, Larry. You actually validated a lot of my experience going through it because there are sometimes I think I might be crazy. Because there's, sometimes I feel like it can't be this difficult to, study for this exam. But thank you for that. I feel validated.
Cool. Okay, Pablo. Continue. Go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today and to be able to work with my family. This has been a very exciting 8 months. So September 1st marks the day that I left corrections. As you guys can see that picture of me in uniform. I began my career in corrections in 2019. I was very young. I just turned 20 and I hopped out of high school, and this was something that I decided to do, and something my father did advise against. He said, don't get into corrections. It's a dangerous workplace. It's not ideal. We're building out in Southwest Florida. Get your real estate license, join the team. And, when you're young, you kind of just want to go your own way. It's very common. It happens to a lot of people. So this is something that I took upon myself, and I said, let me try something. And well, I went ahead and started. I did 2 years in state prison. I ended up I did a lateral program in 2021. I was awarded class leader. You guys can see me holding that award. I was class leader. I walked my class through graduation, and eventually I spent an additional 2 years in county jail working as an officer. And you guys might want to know what started the beginning of the end for my career in corrections, and it was my dad that pushed me through to finally make the change. I've grown up in Miami my whole life, was born and raised, 24 years. So it wasn't an easy change. I'm here in Fort Myers now, Monday through Friday, and I do come back every weekend to Miami because it's just home is home, and there will never be anything like it, at least for me. But nonetheless, it was a big change. I did start off by getting my real estate sales license on December January of 2023. I took my test. I passed on the first attempt, so big day for me. I ended up getting licensed and signed under my family's brokerage, and that would mark the beginning of the end. I would remember on my days off, I had Wednesday and Thursday off. Not ideal days. I'm a young guy. I want to be off on the weekends. You know, I want to go party. I live in Miami, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So on my days off, I would go with my family to Fort Myers, and we'd start at 7 a.m. and we wouldn't finish sometimes till 7 p.m. over there. And mind you, it's a 2-hour drive back and forth. So you get me. This it's sometimes 2 hours and a half, right? And I'm telling you, we'd finish 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and we'd go on site. And it's not easy only being able to go once a week and try to get all your job sites in order in one day when you're based out of Miami and you got to come back and forth. So during those trips, my dad would tell me, you know, I really need somebody here. Think about it. You know, this is something that we need to, as a family, to get ahead. It's going to take you. And listen, I will say in corrections, it's not an ideal workplace. It's not something I necessarily enjoyed. Yes, I was passionate about my career, but as you guys can see, the things that happen in prison and jail, you're going to be faced with a lot of situations that you don't necessarily want to see. The general public doesn't encounter. So
which leads me to my question that I've been wanting to ask for 5 minutes now is give us the top prison story that you have.
I don't know.
Stories. The amount of stories.
Something that would shock people. But it can't be rated X. It's gotta be PG-13. So
No. Okay, yeah. I'll give you guys a story, at least the one that impacted me personally the most, because it was something that I faced alone pretty much. I was assigned to the Metro West Detention Facility in Miami. This is when I was working in jail. I think it was almost my last year in corrections. I was working night shifts, so it was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And it was roughly 4 in the morning. I received a new arrival. Gentleman must have been about 24, 25 years old, probably 5'6", 130 pounds. The reason I'm giving you his physical description is because upon receiving him, I guess he knew some inmates in the cell unit, and they might have had some type of gang-related issue. So they told the gentleman to ask me to check out of the cell in fear for his life. And he didn't do it. He didn't come up to me. I assigned him a bunk, and pretty much, I don't know if his ego or if this is just the way he carries himself, but he went ahead and attacked another inmate in the cell. And mind you, this is 4 in the morning. Out of nowhere, you see 10 other inmates go and start assaulting the guy. Mind you, I'm in the unit alone. The door is locked. Your key does not open that door. So, and they're not in cells. They are in bunk beds. So You can imagine a very big room, kind of like a military barracks, where it's just the drill sergeant will be there and it'll be just a ton of bunks. That's the same exact way Metro West Detention Center is set up. So I had to intervene, and yeah.
Wow.
I hurt my arm. I had to go out to the hospital and get x-rays and all that, but I was fine. But yeah.
So essentially, you were trying to break up a fight of 10 versus 1, and those guys didn't want to have the fight broken up, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, and I called backup, and unfortunately, what I had done was you're issued pepper spray. I was supposed to spray. I acted out of person. It's just instinct. I went in and I tried to separate her. I'd never had an issue with the inmates. It was very respectful, and I received a lot of respect back from them. But that was. But
could pepper spray might have inflamed the situation too? I mean, if you're spraying them, they might come after you more, right? I don't know. I'm not to spend too much time on this, but it definitely a tough situation. But yeah, that's crazy. And I bet you look back on those days, and you're happy that you're in real estate now. Most of the time.
100%. 100%.
At least no one's going to shank you when you're doing a showing, so that's good.
That is, yes, 100% true.
Let's dive into the content here. Thank you all for your background. Very impressive, and again, love that you're a tight family and you are all very well qualified to build homes and deliver good products. So let's dive into the content here, Larry. You want to move on to the next slide and show us where we're building these properties? And well, actually, we'll start here. With the before and after. Go ahead.
This is some a few pictures just to show you, for example, one model and the other that we've been building. We don't do custom home for now. There are no. I don't say that we cannot do it. This is our model for investor. So everything else, it can be done, but this is what I want to show you in this presentation. So you have in the top left one lot, of course in the other top right the other one. Below you see the house finished in the same lot. So from the scratch, we have plenty lots, we have plenty inventory, but we can build in your lot if you have it. So it doesn't make any change basically.
And would you build anywhere maybe in Southwest or Southeast Florida, these models that you have? If they have a lot, let's say someone says, I've got an empty lot in, I don't know, Okeechobee or do you really only focus on the Southwest Florida area, the Fort Myers?
We really focus in Lee County.
Okay.
For Maya, Lehigh, Cape Coral.
Okay.
We've been building in Port Charlotte County, and we came down a little bit, Collier County, Naples, Estero, that part. I don't want to come to the east now because I have all the team that already there. We have finally, after several years, we pay our price, our entrance. So
you paid your dues, and you've got a system now. You've got all your subcontractors and your vendors and everything ready to go there. So I'm sure
at least in Fort Myers, we are very well known.
Good.
Because we start building in the low income area of Fort Myers. We have a lot of opportunity. Was nothing. Nobody was building in 2017, 18 in that part of the city. Like I say, at the beginning, we had to do a lot of things. Actually, I can tell you, coming from Miami, we were some kind of discriminated over there because they thought that we are top of the, I don't know, New Yorkers, let's say. I don't believe that we are, or at least not all Miami people is, disrespectful or working that way. But we noticed a huge impact when we went to the city, when we talked with inspector. Where you coming? You are from Miami. Why you doing here this and that? So make it difficult, to be honest. But then we keep going, we keep doing good job, and they realize we are doing good for the city. So,
you're doing good work, and also you're not going anywhere. It's not like you went there to build one house and they're never going to see you again.
Exactly. After we finished more than 40 in the same area, the city came to us and say, we saw your work. So now we want you to build for the city. Awesome. And we are enrolled in the program for low-income people to build several houses right now. That's amazing. Yeah, that was another achievement that we have in the past year. So
how many houses from when you started have you completed up to this point in the Southeast Florida area?
I can tell you no funny story, but we started in 2017, like I say. That was my challenge to start building from the scratch. Yep. I was saying before. So to buy a property was easy for me. Easy with funds on my funds, investor funds, credit, no credit, cash. Everything was done deal pretty easy. So I say I want to do something. I want to build in my way with a few details, not luxury, but a few details, affordable, but it's a safe, secure, modern. I start building with another contractor. We start using another company, a builder, a Cape Coral for Mayor building, Lee County builder. So we started in 2017 with one house. It went pretty nice. No, not the best, but we went through. We start 2 houses. The very next year, we went to 8 houses.
Wow.
And the following year, we start like a 26 projects.
Wow.
And that's a
big ramp up. Yeah.
Yes. And no, everything was wonderful on my side. I was getting a lot of investors, a lot of requests. The business was good, but 2019, starting 2020, pandemic started, and then the contractor stopped working. He said because of the pandemic. Then we realized they were stealing funds.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
To give money, taking money from the escrow account for draws, but they never pay the vendors. They never pay the materials. They never pay the workers. They never did the job for the money they get.
Wow.
And they put the money in some other places, another houses.
Okay.
And my houses were stopped. From March 2020 to June 2020, we've been dealing with this situation. What happened? Why? We assumed because we went over there, but nobody showed up. No, we are closed for COVID. So we start trying to get in accounting. And at one point, we start starting litigation, and we realized litigation is taking forever, and we had to do something with these 26 projects. They were stopped from some of them, like you see in the photo on the top, from the scratch, for just the scrapping of the lot. They did that, or maybe the foundation.
Right.
And then they stopped everything. All the houses were almost finished.
Okay.
Just need a little details, but I need to do it. I need somebody to do it, and I need to get the CO in order to sell it or to use it or rent it out. So June 2020, we took the big decision with Ada. Okay, we had to do it ourselves. Nobody else is going to help us. So we start going there every week for the next couple of years, every week, sometimes staying at a hotel, gather all the workers that we were not paid, explain, show them all the receipt, all the money, all the checks, everything that was paid to the contractor, the release and everything, pay in advance, draw in advance, and tell them, whoever wants to keep working is welcome to keep working in our home. Few of them, they left. Few of them, they tried to sue us. They couldn't do it because we had the support. But anyway, it was a pretty messy situation, ugly situation, because as another seeing another family get stolen, somebody was not paid for $3,000, but somebody was for $60,000. So it's a lot of money for some small company. Everybody took a hit, but I promised them from that day on, they're gonna get paid directly from us, and they're gonna have it work. And nobody had work at that moment. Nobody was doing anything. So some of them actually they appreciate that. They put that the debt situation on the side. Let's figure it out how we fix this, but let's keep working, generate money. So we managed to build and finish 26 homes in 9 months. That was another record for us.
Wow.
Because we have no idea what to do. And then Cynthia became involved because we need to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
The business was good. The people was bad. The other contractor, there are many bad people in the business. in any business. There are bad realtor, good realtor, amazing realtor, average realtors. In the building construction, there are bad workers, excellent workers, middle. You can see everything.
Listen, we this, in the real estate, brokerage and agent business, there's bad ones, there's scammers. In the legal business, there is. I know an attorney that there's a story. I won't go too deep in it, but several years ago, an attorney was having an affair here in South Florida, and he stole millions of dollars from the escrow account. Went to Costa Rica thinking he was starting a new life with his mistress, and I guess they broke up or something happened, and he had to come back like a year later. He got arrested for it, lost his license. So in any industry, there's going to be good people and bad people, and that's why your reputation is really what precedes you. So that's so that sounds like there was a lot of challenges that you had in 2020, but you persevered. You decided to take everything in house. You got Cynthia to get her construction license, which is awesome that she passed it. And then from that point moving forward, you've been doing everything in house, right? You pull all your permits. You are the contractors. Cynthia is technically the contractor, but you do everything as the family.
Yeah, she qualifies Silver Group as a contractor.
Yeah, and you use subcontractors, of course, for certain parts of the project.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're in control of everything. You hold all the funds yourselves. You manage all the process. Okay, great, good. So that I'm sure that that builds trust for your clients and investors who are sending you the money. That again, you're not partnering with someone else that you have no control over. So
totally.
Good.
Yeah, we had to do it in this way.
So back to the original question. Thank you for all the background. It's a really it's a challenging story, but sometimes awesome things come from challenges and overcoming them. Listen, you could still be there today with this guy. Let's say he didn't do the wrong thing and stole money, but you might be making way less money per deal because he's involved. So now it's actually a blessing in disguise is what I'm trying to say. I'm sure it wasn't fun when you were going over there 4 and 5 days a week, for 2 years, but now that you have a system set up and you're doing great work, it worked out for the best in the end. But
yeah, totally. And then it forced us to have a better system, to do everything ourselves. Like Cynthia say, I have a home, I want to sell it. The client needs financing. We have in-house financing. So we were very lucky to get through all this. Not only the pandemic, because we're real. The problem with the worker, with these fraudulent people that stole like $800,000 from us, was a lot of money. So even that, we came through, we finished all the home, little by little we sold them, and we became well-known in the city, we know within the people, well-known within our investor. So now that we have a system, a lot of more people want to invest and want to see what we do. So
since 2020, how many homes have you done internally without the partner?
Without the partner, like a 20 something.
Awesome. Good. Excellent. Good stuff. Okay, so let's dive back into the slides here and
we're going to move to the next one so we can see the homes. Actually, where are they?
Well, I do want to just show people who maybe are watching this that aren't from the Southeast Florida, Southwest Florida area. You'll see on the right side of the screen over there where it says you'll see Southeast Florida around Pompano, Boca, Fort Lauderdale. That's Southeast Florida corridor. And then there's what we call Alligator Alley is the road there, 2 hours and 20 minutes that you have there. So that's probably an 1.5 to 2 hour drive across Alligator Alley, or I don't know, maybe it's an hour and a half. But then to get up to Fort Myers, it's about showing 2 hours and 20 minutes. But that Naples, from where the cursor is over there, that Naples to Cape Coral, Fort Myers area, and Lehigh Acres, all around there, there's a lot of land still out there. So the problem with Southeast Florida is that land is extremely scarce at this point because we have the Everglades that's blocking us in. So that's one reason why property prices have really exploded. in the past, 5 to 10 years, because there really is just not much more land left to build on. Whereas the Southwest Florida area still has lots and lots of land and lots of lots. Is that correct?
Yes, totally.
Good. So we're seeing a lot.
We use your office as a reference for. I mentioned a lot of people that see you know where you're located. We are located also in Miami, and we have another branch in Fort Myers.
In Fort Myers, awesome. Good.
So you can go to the next one. It's gonna show you the other city that we are building, because there are two models, Clover and Abundance, that I'm gonna show you later. The Abundance model we build only in Lehigh. We're gonna start a better model, an upgrade of the Abundance.
Larry, can you move to the next slide there? Let's look at those models here. That one too. Yep, there we go.
Okay, this is the Clover.
Perfect.
Pablo.
So this, yeah, absolutely. So as you guys are going to see here, this is our 4.2 Clover model home. This home features metal roof, high impact windows. This is our upgraded model that we are touring, by the way. We have a Clover model that sells at $309,000 and one that sells at $329,000. This is a $329,000. The difference is the standing seam roof that you guys saw outside. The floor is a 24 by 24 inch porcelain tile. We also get, walking into the kitchen, you're going to see a white quartz countertop. On the other model, we get a granite countertop, which is still a lot better than what most builders are sometimes putting in their homes over here, at least within the city of Fort Myers. We have a very modern design, and everything looks very modern, brand new, high quality. LED fixtures are modern. This is great for investors. They rent out very easy. They're located in an area with high demand. Like I said, within the city limits of Fort Myers. I get calls every day asking, hey, do you have any lots for sale or anything like that? And the land out here, it's not as scarce as it is in Miami, nowhere near. But this is an up and coming area, as we can see. And yeah, so total square footage is 1979, just under 2,000 square feet, and total living area is just under 1,400 square feet. I believe it's 1,376.
And how many bedrooms did you say?
This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with a 1-car garage.
Okay, 4-2, 1-car garage. Those are really nice finishes, by the way. Just I love the floors. Yeah,
about 1,400 square feet under air. Is that what I heard?
Just under, right? It's 1,376.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what do you think these are renting for? I'm just curious.
Well, we like I mentioned, in our slide, I believe,
We can wait on that then. We'll wait on it. All right.
Let's go ahead.
Or we can, let's swing to it.
If you want to touch, we can touch up on this model.
I can explain, like Pablo say, we have two models, the same model, but with the different, a little bit of upgrades. The basic one has vinyl floor, granite in the counter, metal roof, but it's 5B, no color. You can see all the screws, but it's secure. It has more than 30-year warranty. So that's amazing for even that area that it doesn't being hit by so many hurricanes like the East Coast. But the last one hit Fort Myers was devastating, category 4. And we have 40 homes with metal roof. No one got any damage.
That's awesome.
Any leaking, anything.
Amazing.
So, Post Prime, 309,000 for the basic model that we call, with the same finish, the same quality. But if you want to have the same one as you saw in the video, standing seam color roof, metal with 35-year warranty, porcelain floor, 24 by 24, quartz countertops, is at 329.
Okay.
So you have the property taxes is approximately the next year after you buy, probably the first year you're gonna pay as a vacant lot, without the adjustment of the appraisal. You pay like $200 for taxes, nothing. But the very next year, you're going to pay around $3,600. Insurance went up. I remember when we started getting COs and selling a few of them and a few of them rented out, and I keep it myself as my portfolio because they were nice homes, brand new, good quality, and excellent rent. I keep a few of them. I was paying $700 annually for insurance. See, this is not inflation.
Yeah.
Tell me in 4 years if we have 100% inflation. No.
Sadly, around Florida,
no.
at least Southeast Florida, it's we've seen those insurance numbers almost double as well too. So
it's crazy. So talking about using the reality, today we pay $1,400. It may be a little bit low, a little bit less, but around $1,400. Hazard and liability all inclusive. Actually, rent income. Actually, because we have rented out 24 on the cheaper and the
$309,000 model would rent for $2,400, and the $329 would rent for $25, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So that will give you, even taking into account the $140 that we charge monthly for the management, it give you a ROI, return on investment, the 7.15, 7.1 approximately, either model.
It's good. That's a good return on investment. Yeah, it's quite
on
good.
A brand new property.
Brand new. That's the thing. Yeah, you don't have to worry about very much maintenance.
For a year, you don't have any expense.
Yeah. Cynthia, what are some loan programs that you're seeing for domestic investors? I'm sure you have some for your foreign investors, but someone that's here that's a U.S. citizen or resident. What are you seeing?
I would definitely say the DSCR loans are very good for investors, mainly because you don't have to qualify all the way in the sense of income wise, especially if you're looking to purchase it under an LLC per se. If you are a U.S. resident doing the DSCR with the company, you don't have to present a CPA letter. You don't have to really present a lot of income because it's really just based on what the property is renting for. And the lender just wants to make sure that whatever it's going to be rented at can cover the mortgage payment. So it essentially works out itself.
What's the loan to value, like our down payment that you need for that loan?
The minimum would be 20%. They can go up to 80% LTV. Or I think also combined.
We have another slide where you have all the numbers. I think.
The highlights.
Talk about that later.
If you
we can talk more about it later. That's fine. But I was just curious. So you can get up to 80% financing, and what are you seeing rates on DSCRs recently?
I would. Depending those variables,
credit and a few other things. Yeah.
More or less, probably like some low sevens. I've seen some low sevens.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not reaching so much an 8% anymore.
Okay.
Again, that'll depend if, for example, if you have a not bad credit score per se, but your credit score will help depending on the loan to value as well. But I would say it's starting to reach the low sevens, almost high sixes, which is good.
Okay. That's awesome. Larry, I think I might have interrupted you there.
I was curious, just to confirm, these are concrete construction homes, or are they?
Yes.
Okay.
Concrete.
Yeah.
CBS block, right?
CBS.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, that's awesome. And that's fantastic. The reason for that too is, at least older models of homes here in Florida, multifamily, a lot of them were frame, and that becomes a problem.
No, I don't like it.
For wind damage and things like that.
The other reason why I asked that question is, it's a $300,000 home. That's pretty cheap in today's world. So, $329,000, that's really cheap. So you guys are building very cost effectively from my perspective.
Yeah.
I agree.
We go directly, from the builder to the end buyer. We try to save money as much possible, but to keep quality. Something that I start building even with the other contractor. I say, okay, every home that you're gonna build for me or with my money, it has to have impact windows, impact doors, and a metal roof. I don't want shingles. I don't want regular window. No, but you're stupid. You don't know how to make money. That I've been told everything. Believe me, from 2017 to 19, they told me everything. I didn't care. I keep going. In 2022, when the hurricane came to the West Coast, everybody was asking me if I have another home to sell, to rent.
You look like a genius. Yeah.
Like a person, with a
Fortune
crystal
teller.
ball or something.
Not a lot of people have vision. That's the difference. Just having like that vision, not everyone sees it.
Because just to explain this a different way, you could have definitely cut those corners, had the shingle roofs. Maybe I don't even know if they let you in certain areas have non-hurricane impact windows. Maybe if you're farther east from the coast, but you could cut those corners and get this probably just about the same rent for these proproperties. But then your clients would be stuck with having to pay for a new roof, a $30,000 roof, or a blown out home that is completely destroyed because the windows blew open. So
yeah. So I did want to kind of emphasize on something, that those price points that we're selling those houses at $309,000, $329,000. Compared to what I've seen from other builders in the area, this price point with the features that it utilizes, they're very competitive. They use, I don't know any other homes. Personally, I haven't seen it. I would drive through Fort Myers. I may be a project manager now, but I try to be on site as much as possible. So I'm always driving around the area. I'm seeing the current construction and the things that these builders use. And you'll have maybe a 3.2 model home, shingle roof, and they're selling for $300,000. They're just not the ideal thing that we want to sell. So we decided to upgrade a little bit. And this metal roof is it's a game changer, in my opinion. And it stood out for us.
Question on, maybe I'm getting ahead of ourselves here, but I'm focused on the rent too. What do you feel the rent demand is there? Not price that you're showing, it's $2,400, $2,500, but for any of the properties that you're managing for your clients in this kind of greater Fort Myers area, when they are vacant, are you still seeing a demand for renters that's coming in? Like, how long are these properties sitting vacant? And let's say in the last 3 to 6 months, what are you seeing?
The last property that we have vacant, it took a month to get a client, a well-qualified client.
Okay.
That's the most longer time I have a property vacant.
Okay.
So
prior to that,
normally I have one tenant coming in after the one they left. The very next day, I have people in waiting list.
Got it.
Over there.
Got it.
Most that we work with the workers people, a lot of people that work in landscaping, roofing, flooring, construction, a lot of people that is been living in really bad properties, no maintained property. They telling us everything. Every day we hear the same thing. The roofing is leaking, the bathroom is not working, the AC is not working. Oh no, we don't even have central AC. We have one in the window that is not working. And how much you pay? Oh, I pay $2,200 for the 2.2. I say I have a home for 4.2 for 24. Oh, give me that. So it's
very high demand for rent in this area, especially with the type of model home that we build.
For sure. Yeah, that quality home. Let's keep it moving. Let's see the next model here.
I'm curious, how long does it take you to build?
Well, it's a great question. Typically, at least before I jumped into the picture, from my understanding, it was to build a Clover model home about 6 months.
We took a little bit longer if you count permitting all that part. 2 months, a little bit more, and then 6 to 8 months construction, but starting Pablo, we noticed a huge change, and now we can say we can build our new set of home that we are doing in probably less than 5 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
with permitting,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right,
because we
have a master plan.
We have master plan on that one.
Oh, I see.
master plan
Okay,
approved
got
from
it.
the
So
city.
you own you bought a whole thing and you've subdivided the parcels and you're building a community.
No, actually, we use any vacant lot. We don't have a huge land that we parcel it. We develop. No, we bought different lots in the area, but we only had to submit the survey, the drainage site plan, and the approval of the master plan. We're gonna do it right garage, left garage. We already have that part, engineering and planning, everything, architectural, everything is done. So
because you're using you're building the same house over and over
yes,
again. Okay, and the city
right or left, and we can change the roof, we can change the flooring, but we don't need any permit to do that. So it's gonna be metal roof.
So said a different way, you're pre-approved with the city because you're doing so many of these houses, which is the benefit. But
it's not pre-approved, but I
don't mean like you literally don't have to
more
submit
than middle of the
that house, that model.
Yeah,
yes.
that model is 80% in advance.
Right.
Everything is approved.
How many do you guys have under contract or construction right now?
We have 4. We're about to have a fifth one. Like my dad stated, we engaged into a government contract with the city, and they came to us after they saw how many homes we built in the area, the quality and whatnot. And we qualified for a Section 3 program. We're going to be doing a demolition and reconstruction. It's actually set to start next week, so it'll be our 5th edition for the year.
Awesome,
Yeah.
cool,
Really good, great stuff.
Okay, I'll keep it moving here then, guys. I know. Here we go. All right. So what's next? Here's the next model, right?
Okay, we go into the abundance. Pablo?
The abundance model. Yeah, this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom with a 2-car garage home. These homes are located in Lehigh Acres, roughly 30 minutes away from Fort Myers. As you guys can see, very upscale home. Floors are 48 by 24 inch. Again, modern LED light fixtures. High impact windows. The kitchen comes with all appliances included, stainless steel appliances. Here we're going to see, there we go. So yeah, just a 2,600 square feet of space for total area. And for living, we have a little bit over 1,800 square feet living area. So as you guys can see, standalone tub in the bathroom, bidet, something you don't see often. These homes over here, 2 walk-in closets, so we have his and hers. Now this is a master bedroom, and it gives you direct access to the backyard. Here we're going to see in a minute, and we're going to go ahead and enter our laundry room with our 2-car garage. And we will take a look at the covered lanai area. So very, very big backyard. You get a 1/4 acre sized lot in Lehigh. And yeah, that is our abundance model home.
Really nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
Here we have different approach. We build this with the investors. We have a construction cost, all include around 340. Low cost is 20,000. You may find in Lehigh lots maybe from 15,000 to 25, 35, 40 or over. Depending on the location and also how elevated or how much vegetation you have. So that's impact really on the cost of building, because if you have a low lot, you have to fill with a lot of dirt, and it may cost you more than 7,000 just filling. So sometimes it's better to pay a little bit more in the lot that is clear, and don't spend 3,000, 5,000 in clearing a lot of trees or filling a lot of more than 70 loads of dirt. So basically, taking into consideration We have a $20,000 lot. We have a total investment of $360,000. We're talking about a 2,600 square feet home total, with the sale price of $479. That is even really cheap if you compare with the East Coast. So for the 2,600 square feet, with this quality of finish, of course. In this moment, this is pretty nice the opportunity, because I know you have a lot of people in your channels. We have a special deal. We have 4 of these just finishes, brand new, ready to sell, and I can do a wholesale value or deal at $430 for any investor. So it's a huge difference. The rent estimate is $3,200. We don't rent anyone yet, so we have this opportunity. We didn't build this for rental. I prefer to build the other one for rental. It's better income. So,
Okay.
but
So you think you get a better return on investment on the smaller home?
always. Always.
Okay. And so this one is more for flip, for the end users, right? So
Yes, or for a family to start, a typical family, 1 or 2 children, they can start having a huge home, beautiful, brand new, secure home, impact window, metal roof, beautiful flooring, all of them. The 3 are similar, changing colors, only that. Or the orientation of the garage, right or left. We have master plan as well. So this is a very good opportunity for somebody that want to buy and flip it, or rent it out. I don't know, or use it.
So with your investors, let me just understand this. If someone, let's say they're watching this program and they call you and they say, hey, Dario, I want more information on this. How do I make money on this with you? You would wholesale this to them at $430 and then they would put it on the market. Is that what the idea is? Or do you work with investors from the very beginning? They put up the money, you build it, and you make money together. How does that work?
Both way.
Okay.
At this moment, both way. At the beginning, with a few investors, we did that. They put the money, I build it for them, and now we share the profit for $479.
Okay.
But if somebody want to buy it, I use it, sell it, rent it out with me or without me, they can do it.
Got it. Okay, understood. And do you build these on, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology here, but do you build them on spec? Like, are some of these builds where you're using your own money, then you're wholesaling and flipping them, or are all the builds you're doing with funding with investors?
We are doing all this. We were down with investor money, different investor, all different units are owned by different investor, and we share that.
And you share the profits, right? Okay.
Yes, as a builder, but we are gonna start the same model that you saw there, with high ceiling and a little bit better the upgrades in Cape Coral. So that is gonna be a spec.
Okay, so kind of like for people to understand, I guess, tell me if I'm wrong here, but your market sometimes in certain areas of Fort Myers might be a little lower end, Lehigh, more space.
In the middle.
Maybe in the middle, and then
Cape Coral is like the top for us.
Got it. Because Cape Coral is really near the water. It's almost like a big island, so to speak. So
yes.
Got it.
Nicer. Has an average of income a lot higher than Lehigh, even than Fort Myers.
Got it. Okay, excellent.
We can move to the next one, and then Cynthia can talk about that.
Well, I already touched upon them.
We talked about it more or less.
Yeah, at least for the investors, definitely for the DSCR loans, those are the great ones. They do require a minimum FICO score of 620. Most investors will have a higher FICO score than that. Like I said, 80% LTV. You could also do like a combined LTV up to 80%, which is pretty good. And then on the next slide, if you can go over, I would have the highlights. Essentially, it can go up to 3 million. The loan amount for these loans can go up to 3 million. We could do 30-year, 40-year, or if you want to do an ARM, sometimes when you do ARM, you might get a better interest rate, a little bit lower. However, it will be adjustable. And like I mentioned, the good thing about it is there's no income, no employment, because it is based on the rentability of the unit itself. And in certain programs of the DSCR, because we have different, it can go as low as 0. So, which means the ratio, it can basically match it and it would be fine. However, the only adjustment for that is that you would need a minimum FICO score of 680 or more. So if you have 620, the DSCR, the ratio is a little bit higher per se. If you want to go, match it, you need at least a 680. This is eligible for also foreign nationals if they're not a U.S. citizen, and can be used for condo hotels, which I know a lot of lenders don't want to do. It's actually a very difficult kind of loan to do. In this case, you can if you want to use a DSCR loan. This one particular that we have with the lender we work with, it could be 1 to 4 units. So if it's a duplex as well, triplex, fourplex, we could do it. Or mixed use and multifamily. And then, like I had mentioned, 20% minimum down payment. Though I did want to add in for the last unit we saw, which was the Abundance one, if there are people looking to purchase it as an end buyer, we also do offer great programs for first-time home buyers that can either grant the down payment or can essentially give like an assistance, and then the buyer can pay it back slowly. We have great programs in that case as well. But that's pretty much the basis for the DSCR loans. I think it.
But for the second model, the bigger model that you had on the Abundance, if you're working with an investor, they need to come up with cash, right?
Yes, essentially, yeah. At least
a portion of this. Obviously, the end buyer could get qualified for one of these loans, correct?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. That's good. Okay.
We're moving to the next. Okay. This is the very exciting slide. This is the top of that we start doing commercial. So this is our first project. This is big for us as a family. The name of that is the complex is Paraíso at North Cape. It's a commercial plaza. And I know that we found out that in the next slide we have a video with Cynthia and Pablo where they were presenting this with the Cape Coral people. So they're going to talk about it.
I mean, yeah, I'll start off with saying our first commercial project, very impressive. It's being held over at I believe it's a 5-acre lot off of Del Prado in the North Cape corridor. So just to give a little brief overview of what the area looks like, for us, it's an untapped area with a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of residential housing, but there's not many commercial developments. We're talking plazas, things for family recreational activities. So my father saw this area and he saw a big opportunity. Like my sister stated, this takes vision. So he saw an area that's up and coming and he took a chance, and this, as we can see, the plaza that we see here, very modern, very nice. There's nothing in Cape Coral that you see with a deck overseeing anything, any type of lake or any water. And that's something we do see here. This is going to feature 4 buildings. It's going to have executive offices, retail, restaurants, and a flex building with warehouses, gyms, a potential gym, should I say. But yeah, that's just to give you guys a brief overview. I'd love to get into the exact square footage, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
I can talk about that, but let's talk a little bit also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, no, what I did want to say, life is, at least for me, I feel like life is dualism. There's a lot of dualism in it. And I really do think, for as much as when my dad talked about how we came into this market, even though we faced what I would consider, I feel like a lot of people in that same situation might not have came out as great as we did. So I do believe that, certain challenges are put into certain people's lives for a purpose. And at the end of the day, I think maybe this might have been the ultimate purpose behind it, because you cannot reach the highs of the highs without going through the lows of the lows, unfortunately. But I do think this in itself is like our baby. I would have, if you asked me years ago, oh, you're gonna, be a part of creating a huge commercial plaza, and I would look at you and say, what are you talking about? Like, I had just gotten my accounting degree, and it's like, there's no way. And the best part of all of this, aside from, of course, we're probably going to make a lot of money and like all these things, but we're just going to be able to give back to a community and just give people an opportunity to experience certain things on that side of Florida that not many have seen. Growing up in Miami, I've been able to have lots of memories and huge, going to the mall with my friends, or just being, in these kinds of plazas, which on that side, they don't really see a lot of. And just in its totality, even, our single family home constructions and those things, I really do feel like we're giving the community like opportunity to gain access to these kind of properties. We have stories of many renters that have been super grateful, and they've just been very glad that we've entered into that area and building these new construction homes that are so nice at a reasonably nice price. And they get to experience that. And I think at the end of it, at least for me, that's one of the most wonderful things, just hearing people and how happy they are to be able to get that.
No, for sure. And keep in mind, I always go back to this kind of like the supply and demand curve. That's how we get our pricing. And we've seen prices jump incredibly here in Florida, certainly Southeast and Southwest Florida for sure, over the last few years. And besides inflation, the other reason for it is we've had such an influx of people coming into the state, and we don't have enough housing. And so it's great to talk to housing providers like you all, developers that you all are building housing for people. You're putting roofs over people's heads, because if people weren't really doing this, people couldn't keep moving to Florida, because it would just be absolutely unobtainable. Rents would be, too high for people to even live here. So especially we need that workforce housing that you all are building here, which is awesome. Somewhere between the Clover model, probably more the workforce housing, or the higher end model, which, a little more for kind of the end. I don't know if it's entry level, but certainly the middle class family housing, which is awesome. So really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Just one or two questions on that commercial plaza. When are you thinking you might break ground on that? Are you working? Are you bringing together multiple investors for that? What does that look like? Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you asked me, because I'm gonna say anyway. We are in the process of getting the permit finally. We supposed to get that last March. It became several comments on the city and South District Water Management that they want to accommodate this and that, because we have a lot facing up north a canal, so we're touching water, and that make us a little bit more difficult regarding permit, because it's a conflict of interest that the city and the district water management. You do this, I don't want that. I don't have power over you, but I don't gonna prove it anyway. So that kind of thing.
Larry knows exactly what you're talking about. He just built a beautiful custom home here in Boca, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I went to see it actually last week, and but Larry knows the pain of dealing with
okay, the city firsthand. Yes. So it's sometimes challenging and difficult, but we get almost through. We had the lot, we had the land, increased the value the last 2 years, incredible. And we are, as soon we got I get the permits, we want to go, we have the funds to go and do the site development, but we need the funds to go vertical. Yeah, Pablo didn't have the numbers on top of his mind. We're talking about 4 buildings, 43,000 square feet altogether. one first building number one, 8,000. The other one, 79. Second, the third building is facing in the back to the water. That is going to be a restaurant building, 10,000 square feet for restaurant. We try to get a little bit variety, but in product quality for the area. There are nothing to eat in the last, from maybe the last, you have to do 20 or 30 blocks south and more than 10 and 20 north on the north, on the Del Prado Boulevard, that is the main artery of the Cape Coral city, is crossing the whole city from south to north, north to south. This is the north entrance. There are 100,000 of residential property and nothing to eat, nothing to buy, nothing to a bakery, a good burger beside the McDonald's next to us. So we have plenty of opportunity to do anything that is going to be good tasting is going to be a success.
You know, I noticed that. I went over to Cape Coral about a year ago with my brother-in-law and my wife and sister-in-law, and we were staying there. My aunt, she owns a duplex, and on the water there, it's nice. And we were just kind of getting away for the weekend. And we drove around because I'm always interested in real estate. And I won't say I covered all of Cape Coral. I probably didn't touch the very north part where this property is. But I did notice in Cape Coral that besides the southern part, which is pretty well developed, as you get to the central and maybe touching the north, again, I didn't make it all the way to the top, but I did notice that they're just building so many houses, and it doesn't seem like there's much commercial, shopping centers and malls. I didn't even see a mall the whole time I was there. I don't even know if one exists there, like an indoor mall. It's just while it's really nice, Cape Coral, and I love that there's water all over it with canals, and it's a pretty area, it doesn't seem like it's well planned out, by the city, where they're, they should be, I don't know, like it.
I can tell you they find out that in 2019, they stopped giving permits in several streets or avenues. From the main and the second line, from east side, upper, north and south, they canceled the zoning of residential. If they move to commercial only, if you have a lot from long time and you didn't build, you cannot build a property, a residential property anymore. And
well,
why? Because they don't have business. They told me at the very beginning when I met the people of the city, they have a room, a map, and they say Cape Coral Business Development 2020-2030. They had to do a lot of work, a lot of business. They don't have any, and they know the people from the city is going to buy, to eat, or to work outside the city. They're coming back to live, but they losing taxes. And they commute a lot. So it was a bad planning, but they know that and they changing that. So they give us a lot of opportunity, and we're dealing pretty well with the city on the business development. Also, they finally got rid of the huge piece of land they have in front of our lot. That is 180 acres. That buildable are 140. They want to bid for one builder to do several things like a low-income property, luxury, mixed use, commercial, light industrial, but nobody wants to do that. And there's no one that is doing all that. So nobody wants to share the piece of land. The one is doing low income. Actually, there's no money on that. Luxury, you cannot go so higher because of the market. Light industrial, there are people that want to do it because there are a lot of needs over there also, but they want to do a lot of that piece of land with the industrial, and they don't want the city that. So they finally got the deal with somebody else at double the price they're supposed to do it. So it's going to be a huge impact for us because we are 5 acres only. It's 140 across the street. So everybody is working there for probably for the next 5 or 10 years. You're going to need a gym, an office, a pizza, a burger, a dinner, or anything. Yes,
Right.
yes. And also, it's a good mention because I brought a lot of ideas. When I traveling, I try to catch the best of everybody. So I saw for example, the deck that I'm building in the back. That is like a patio for the restaurant. You can go to the deck. It's gonna be half cover or 2/3 of the deck cover to avoid raining or heat, and it's facing the water. I saw in a luxury hotel in Mexico doing that, and it's super nice to have a meal next to the water. It's another level, even that is not have to be fancy or expensive. So I want to give the city of the canals is like Cape Coral, and they don't have nothing over the water. Believe
Yeah,
me.
it is
They
pretty
don't
crazy.
have nothing.
Yeah.
So when I show them my idea, they say, I don't believe this is going to be a problem, but I can tell you it's amazing. We want to have that in the city. So we're going to have that deck. It's a huge deck, 320 feet by 40, with a platform where it's going to play live music, band, DJ, putting in the mood on the weekends. So the idea is to move and gather a lot of people, all ages, to enjoy that part of the city that had no life at all. So
It's true.
in the first building,
Yeah.
I'm looking to do that we're gonna consider to keep and manage ourselves executive offices because they are not enough, or of course nothing commercial, but any accounting, any I don't know, architect that working from home want to have a meeting, want to have a special place. They don't want people coming into the home. They need something for them, a small piece of the office, really small piece of dedicate to the shop, and somebody that is going to be taking care of the receptionist, a clean bathroom to share, of course, a cafeteria. We're going to have a beautiful 8,000 building self-dedicated for executive offices.
Yeah, executive offices, as I think we've seen, if you look around, it's the I don't know if it's called the wave of the future because it's been here for a number of years now, but I think those big offices you're really seeing are struggling, big office spaces, but those executive offices, from what I can see, in fact, our office for our law firm, we're on a floor of executive offices. We're the only non-executive office, but they're filled all the time. I've had people ask, hey, can you talk to your landlord or
to give me some room.
Mine's the same way. I have my floor is the same, right? So it's good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Just
had a technical difficulty. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My computer went black there for a second, but just that they're always filled. So yeah.
That what I know, because in my personal situation, when we went to have something physically, a location over there, at the beginning, I tried to look for an executive offices where I'm gonna have somebody getting the mail. No, I don't have to worry about the Wi-Fi, the electricity, a small place to sit and meet people, and it was waiting lists all over the city. Waiting list.
Yeah. So last question that I have for you, Larry, may have more, but for this commercial development, if you are bringing on investors, is the goal for a develop and then hold for a number of years, or is it to develop and then sell on to a bigger, sort of owner?
Our idea right now, I consider to get a private investor or a few private investors to provide the funds around 7 million that we need to build vertical. paying a good interest on the money until we get the stable and everything is rented out, probably a year or two, let's say. Then refinance with the bank. That we have banks waiting for that. That the incredible situation, they see the potential, but they want to see everything in paper. They want to take no risk. So of course we have to pay more money to somebody that is willing to take the risk. Right. Lately, I was open to hear like a sharing situation. It may be different way to put this up. I've been told that we can secure, like share on the business, but with a buyout clause. If we get that to the point that we can pay the back and with the interest or compensation or whatever.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Private debt, private equity, or but
the idea is always to keep it.
Yeah.
No less than 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be an amazing business. And I'm working to have the second started nearby with a sports center and a hotel.
I love it. You're a visionary, Dario. You're haven't even broken ground on this one, and you're already ready for the next one, which is awesome.
I have 4 in my mind, 4 projects.
Wow. Okay.
If you have investor for the sport complex, it will be nice because I have an unbelievable vision for that. I know it's going to be lucrative. There's nothing over there. Nothing. No, not even one field. Cynthia is playing every day, almost every day of the week, soccer in Miami, and everything is packed. Yeah. And also, I consider to do soccer field, outdoor, and paddle court. I don't know you know what is a paddle?
Oh, yeah. Paddle's great.
No pickleball.
Yeah.
You can play with the walls.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A lot faster.
It's awesome.
Spain created. It's all over Latin America. Here in Miami, maybe Broward, I don't know if they are 1 or 2. I believe there are 4 in Miami. You need to wait 6 months to get an hour to play. Wow. Because everybody is renting.
It's becoming more popular, for sure. It's a thing.
So I want to be the one to become the first one in the West Coast.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Any last questions that you have, Larry? And then I want to wrap this up with them and have them provide their contact information, and which of course we'll include in the video. But any other questions you have, Larry?
No, I think you've covered them all. This is super interesting. Thanks for the time, guys.
Yeah, no, really good, really good. We'll put your contact information in the comments below the video, but if someone wants to get in contact with you now, what's the best way to do that? Is there a website or what do you have?
I think you have that. You can open up, Larry.
The last one.
On the slide. There you go. Yeah, perfect.
You have our website, www.greenliferealty.com. On the builder side, www.silvergroupllc.com. And you can see the domains on the emails. I have an email for the realty, but you can reach me either way. And also on the email, when you send the email, we have all the signature with the phone number, Miami, Fort Myers, WhatsApp. That is now it became popular, WhatsApp. I remember 5 years ago, nobody here in US know what is WhatsApp. Exactly. And everybody in Latin America using it because it's free. And also you can call, talk, not only messages. Yeah. When I start doing that with the people working in Fort Myers, they say, what is that? Okay, let's download it and use it. It's easy to send photo, video. Now in Copa America, they sponsor.
Yeah.
The Copa America WhatsApp. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, good. Well, listen, we appreciate your time. Dario, Cynthia, and Pablo, you guys are doing a great job here on building these homes, and I'm very impressed. I know Larry is too, and we can't wait to see the development coming here, the commercial plaza. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, thanks again.